All right, guys. Hello, everyone. My name is Wilson Mazaiwana, and on the other side is Eddie Tash,
Hey.
and we are going to be going through the second part of the software programming, and that would be today. We'll be going through using Python. So I think the first session that we had, we explained what software programming was and what software was and all those things. So this session, we decided not to explain what those things are, but if you want the slides or that explain what that is, we can give you at the end of this presentation in the question and answer session, or even after that. But today we're going to go through Python. Now, Python is just one of many other programming languages. And the definition that you're given is probably the words are just probably just too complicated to use, but I'll read it anyway, and then we'll just tell you what we think it is. So it says, Python is an interpreted object-oriented high-level programming language with dynamic semantics. And you're just thinking, whatever I understood, in all those words that have been said, because if you don't understand what object orientation is and interpretation is in languages, and what a high-level programming language is, dynamic semantics are, then that definition really means nothing. So the definition, which is why we chose Python today, what the definition that we would give is that Python is a very simple yet powerful programming language. The reason why I say simple is because it's more akin to natural language as compared to the other programming languages that we have. And you have less code to achieve as much as compared to the other programming languages. So, and we had brought up the benefits of actually using Python. And like I said, it's easy to read. So it's almost like, it's similar to like English language. So it's easy to read and write. And like I said, the amount of code that you have to put is not much, to write something. So for example, if you're to write something in Java, to achieve something similar in Python, what you'd achieve in Python with one line, in Java, you might need maybe 7 to 8 lines of code just to do that. And maybe what you might achieve, in a function in Python, in Java, you might need multiple functions with multiple objects, and those things might already seem complicated. So I think the best thing is usually to start from somewhere simple, and that's why we chose Python. And the other thing is, you have a wide variety of applications that you can apply Python to. So, for example, in the game industry, Python is used a lot for web applications, so like websites, etc., and stuff like that. And machine learning, I'm sure you've heard of machine learning these days. Python is kind of like the most simple language, and yet is very, very powerful to use for machine learning. And you especially machine learning, you get a lot of scientists that use Python to do it because you write so little to achieve so much. And you also have a server automation and robotics and stuff that that use Python in them. So for example, if you're traveling on a plane and you're watching a video on a plane whereby you're watching movies on the little TV that's on the seat that's in front of you, that software that's used in there may be built using Python and JavaScript. Or you can use Python for many other things. I think Eddie has got a little project, or rather a little little project which he has, he might want to show, just to show one of the simple, very small example of what you can use, for Python as well. Do you want to show them, Eddie? Do you want to show them?
Sure, yeah. So I've got this, it looks like a lamp, but it's got a computer in the back. So if I'm going to turn it around, you see there is a cable hanging around, and there is a computer with some LEDs there. So what I can do with it is run a simple program to actually light up those LEDs. So from the front, it will look something like this. Those colors and that movement, it's being turns on those LEDs with Python. So there is a Python program that goes really, really fast and basically turns on and off, or at a specific with a specific color, those LEDs. So basically that's one of the examples there. So now we can actually program it. So for example, one of the projects that I have for myself is to be able to turn this lamp on whenever there is a new comment on my Instagram feed, or turn it blue if there is a new tweet follower, or if I've got a new Twitter follower, or stuff like that, basically. But I've not got around to do that. So yeah, that's one of the things that you can do with it, and it runs basically. Python can run on a computer like this small.
Hmm.
So that's quite small there.
Yeah. So, like, for example, if you put it in your hand, because I'm holding one in my hand actually right now as well.
Yeah.
So this is my hand, and the computer is like this small as well. So
Yeah.
that that can run that Python language that we're talking about. So that means the Python language is very, very lightweight, which is very good. Um, if you can run on a small, on a small little computer chip like that, very, very lightweight, and it's used in science and research as well. But the other advantage that we have as well with the Python is there's a huge community of developers. So, for example, if you're a beginner and you get stuck somewhere, and maybe you get an error as you get stuck, if you put it in the internet, in Google, you'll see that there's so many other people who got the same error, and you'll see that there's so many solutions just to how to fix one error as well, and that you can pick from those. And I think probably as a beginner, that is very, very important, because the frustration that beginners have with software development sometimes puts them off. So it's good to have a very big community that can help. The other good thing about Python is the job prospects and the salaries that come with it. So I was looking on the internet before, and I just wanted to share my screen. Um, I'll just quickly share my screen
Yeah.
so you guys can see. Oh yeah, you might need to make me host, because co-host cannot share either. Oh, I don't know whether that's possible if you're recording.
Um,
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. You can if you want, you can share. You can just type Python jobs UK
yeah.
in
Let
Google.
me let me do that.
Yeah, Python jobs UK in Google. You probably see the same screen. Yeah, if you just put UK or something. Yeah, cool. And as you can see, uh,
There.
the jobs that you see in there, um, so those are just like standard mid-level and beginner level jobs as well. So as you can see, the graduate program one was already saying like £32,000 a year and stuff, just to get into into that one, which was, I think it's just a bit upward. If you scroll up,
Oh,
he,
that one.
that one, yeah. So um, that's a graduate program. So that means, as soon as you come out of university or something like that, and then you can jump onto that. Then on a graduate program, getting that kind of money is already really good. And even I think if you scroll down, you might see some of them, mid-level developers getting probably something, 35, 40, 50,000 a year. And then you get the experts, look at the monies as well. Some of them super, super, super experts, as you can see on the other one, and they're like, getting 400 400 a day and stuff like that. I'm not saying, once you learn Python today, tomorrow you'll be getting 400 a day. It's not like that. You start with a journey, just like, a person, for them to even start running, they start as a journey as a baby. They learn to walk, and then, as they learn to walk, and then, as things go better and they get more experience, things become more. So there's really good job prospects in the low end and in the high end as well. For people. So, and yesterday the NEC ran how to choose your career and how to choose your job and stuff like that. I think one of the most important things is, for you to choose a destination before you go on the bus. So one can say, what, I want to be an expert Python developer. Then that's when you decide, oh, you know what, I'll go on this bus. So here we're just running something so that you guys can see what the basic stuff in Python is like. So that in case you want to decide in the future that that's what you want to do, or any other programming language, at least you do learn something. Now we've got a couple of examples of applications that run Python. So we have Dropbox. And
you guys know Dropbox, don't you?
So Dropbox is just like, cloud folder where you can drop your files, in a cloud folder or cloud folders that you can create, and then you can share the folders and the files with people as well. And you have Pinterest, if you're looking to get married soon, that's probably where you go and look for your wedding dress or something, or just to see what it looks like. Or wedding setting, but it's just the website itself and stuff like that, and the apps maybe that they use, or maybe some of the software that they use is in Python as well. And then Instagram, you also they also use a big Python code base as well. And yeah, but yeah, that's our basic introduction to Python. I think Eddie's got a screen on there with the Python, with the
Yes.
Python definition that we had before. But yeah, I'll pass you on to Eddie so that we can go into maybe some basic Python programming, so you can see how easy it is as well and stuff.
So there's a couple of links that we're gonna share on the channel, on the chat. Sorry. So the easiest way to have a look at Python and all the things that you can do in Python is to look at this website that you see on the screen now. If you go through each one of these subsections, you can see the basic syntax. This is what it looks like. You can see loops. This is something that we'll probably touch on in a minute. Lists, strings. So by making use of all these things in Python, we can actually write a program that does something useful. So make a note of this link that I put there. Another good resource to learn Python, it's this one here. Code Academy. It's a free course, so you just create your account with them. You don't have to pay anything. This course, Learn Python 2, it's free, so you can just get started, and it's got a very good beginner-friendly outline, so you can get started straight away and go through it at your own pace. And if you want to learn a bit more about Python, the best place to learn about it, it's straight from the main website. This is the python.org website, and this is where you can learn how to install Python on your computer, how to set up your development environment to get started with that. But because that usually it's quite an involved process, we don't have time to do that tonight, so we'll leave that and we'll basically use this website. So this website allows us to write Python in this window and see the result on this right hand side. So I'm going to put this link in the channel, and you guys can click on it, and you won't see my code on your window. You'll basically see a blank page. But we'll go through a few things in Python that would help us to build a program. So let me know.
All right.
You can.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go on.
I was just gonna say before we start, actually, I hope everyone's got maybe a computer or something, or maybe a tablet, where you can use your keypad and someone to do some of these things, so that you can try yourself as well as Ed
Yeah.
is going. So the way Ed is going to type is so that at least you can also follow as he's doing it, so that at least you can also have the excitement and the experience in actually enjoying how to do the code. So he's going to do some basic stuff, really, some basic stuff. Well, we think it's basic anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun, and I hope that you guys can at least find it as interesting as I did when I first started programming. So if you can and if you want to, you can come off mute, and it's pretty hands-on for the next half an hour. So yeah, if you can and you have a computer that has Google Chrome or whatever, just load this website and just give us a yes or no when you get stuck.
Yeah, the website is in the chat as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see the chat, is the last link that I pasted on there. All right. Are we okay to get started? I would assume that's a yes.
You can unmute yourself, guys, if you want to, and you can ask questions as we go. You don't have to.
I'm good to go.
Good. Okay, so we've got the first thing that every programmer does when they start a new programming language or they start programming. It's to write a program that basically tells the computer to write something to the screen. And in Python, that is basically this: print hello world. So we basically give the computer an instruction. Let me just delete those things. We don't need them anymore. So we tell the computer to print hello world. And the computer in Python understands that this print, it doesn't actually mean printed on the printer on paper. It actually means printed on the screen. If we would have wanted to print it on paper, if the computer has connected the printer to it, that would require a few other things in place. So it wouldn't be just this line here. But anyway, let's see if we can run this. So now when this page finishes loading, I can click run, and something is going to happen on this side. And basically that's the flow of writing code. You write a bit, you run it, you see the output, you see the result. If you like it and it's what you expected, then you can keep going. If not, then you have to go back and to rethink the problem. I think this page is taking a bit too long to load. Let me just reload it. All right, so print, open bracket, and inside double quotes, you put hello world. And then you run it. And there it goes. It printed out the hello world. Now, if I wanted to print something else, let's type in something else. That would be executed just like that. So now we know how to tell the computer to write something to the screen. In Python, there's these things called variables, and all other programming languages have them. And a variable is just something that holds data. And data can have a few various types. So data can be a number, or it can be a string. So let's create a variable. In Python, one of the nice things about Python is that you can call them whatever you want. So I'll call this variable variable A. I'll put an underscore there. And then I'm going to say equals. And then this variable is equals to 5. Right. So now the computer knows that there is this thing called variable A that is equals to 5. And I can actually do something quite neat. I can do print, and then I do variable A. So now this line is going to get executed. Then the computer goes to the next one, and it's going to create me a variable A that has the value of 5. And then it's going to print to the screen the contents of variable A, which is number 5. So we'll click run, and there it goes. There's the execution. So the program runs, does these 3 instructions, and it finishes. Basically, that's what a program does. It's a set of instructions. If you think of it like a recipe for baking a cake, or a recipe for any other dish, it's got a series of steps. Add this much flour, whisk it, then add the eggs, then mix it until a certain consistency, then turn on the oven to 270 degrees, then put everything in a tray and put it in the oven for 30 minutes, and you'd have a cake or whatever. That's pretty much a computer program. So with variables, with a few other things like conditional statements and loops, we can actually put them all together to create a program. So a conditional statement would be something like, if variable A is greater than 10, then we want to print is greater. Else, print is lower. So now we're basically having a check to see if the variable a, the contents of variable a, is actually greater than 10 or not. So we can run it. And because variable a is equal to 5, this check is actually going, is this greater than 10? No, it's not. So then it's going to print this branch. If variable a is greater than, let's say, 3, then it's going to run this branch. So let's see. So you can see there. All right. Are there any questions so far?
I think another thing just to add is the conditional statement, like an if. It's the same as, when you're thinking, what, if this program starts at 8, I'll eat my food after the program. Otherwise, I'll eat my food before the program. So it's just a statement of, what, you don't know what to do until you know what life throws at you. So,
Yep.
but you prepare for what life throws at you before it throws that thing at you. So just like, if it throws a program at 8 for you, then, you prepare, what, I'll eat before 8. Otherwise, I'll eat after 8 or something like that. So that's what a conditional statement is. You decide upon condition of the situation at that time.
Okay. So another thing that I mentioned earlier is for loops or just loops. And that's something that you usually use when you have a set of things. So for example, you have 3 cats and you want to pet them. So you pet one, and then you pet the second one, and then you pet the third one. That's something that Python could do. You can do that in Python with a loop. So a loop would usually looks like this: for, and then x in range from 1 to 5. We do print x, and this is going to print 1, 2, 3, and 4. It didn't print the 5th element because it's not included. I think there is a specific symbol that I think I need to add in there, which right now I can't remember. But this is the gist of the problem. You have a set of things from 1 to 5, and you do something with them. So to give us a mini project to do, what we can build in the next 10 minutes or so, it's a guessing game. So we'll have a computer to generate a random number from 1 to 100, and we won't know the number, but the computer can actually tell us. The computer will prompt us for a number, and it'll say, is it higher or is it lower? So at the end, the aim of this game is to actually guess the number. So the computer will come up with a random number. So the way you would get a random number is like this. So we create a variable called random number, and you say it's equal to random dot rand range from 1 to 100. But because this one here, it's got the red squiggly line, something is not right. So right now the editor here doesn't know about random, so we need to actually import random. So once you do that, the red squiggly line goes away and editor is happy, so you can carry on. So basically what happens on this line is this function random.randRange will return a number between 1 and 100, and this random number variable will have the value of that number that's been chosen. So we won't know, us as humans won't know, but the computer will know about what that value is. So we have to guess it. So in order to guess it, we need some hints. So we want to know if this random number it's lower or higher than the number that we thought of. So the way we do that is we need to create another variable, and this variable is called found, and we're gonna say that this variable is, the value of this variable is false. This is some Boolean logic thing that's going on in here. So a variable can be a number, a string, or true or false. In this case, we're going to start with false. So the way we're gonna do this is by creating a loop. Now we want to keep asking the user or the player of this game for another number, and the way we do this is while not found, print guess the number. Okay, let's see if we run it now, what happens. So as you can see there, guess the number gets printed over and over and over and over again. Why? Because this loop, it's infinite. We're saying while not found, or the other way you could say this is while this is true, print this string, and this is going to keep going as long as the computer stays on. When the electricity cuts off, this is going to stop too.
Yeah, and I think also it will go on because it has not found the number. So yes. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah.
So we can stop that if you followed through so far and you got stuck in that infinite loop there. The way to stop it, it's pressing Control and C at the same time on your keyboard. Right. Okay. So we want to have the player to be able to type in a number at the keyboard, and this number can be saved into a variable. So we're going to call this variable called input number, and then we're going to save this as an integer. You might be confused by the number of brackets and brackets within brackets and all that. So anything, wherever you see a set of round brackets, you see the word and then you see open and close round brackets, that is called a function. And a function is something that we'll probably touch at a later point. But for now, it's just something. It's a piece of code that does something, and that's it. So in this case, input, this function reads from the command line whatever the player types in, and it's going to save it as an integer, as a number, into this variable. So we want to get the input number there. So now that we've got the input number, we can say if the input number is greater than the random number, print go lower, else, or elif. The way to chain if statements is by typing elif. If the input number is less than the random number, then print go higher. Else, or else if the input number is equals to the random number, print you found the random number, and then colon, space, and you write down the random number. Okay, and we want to say that at this point in the program, the computer it'll still go round and around this loop. So it'll go back to the top, and it'll ask, and it'll do all that again. But what we want is to actually stop. So the way we stop this infinite loop is by changing the value of found to true, because we found the actual number. So let's run this. Let me clear that and run this. So the program starts, the game starts now. So it says guess the number. So the computer right now knows that there is a random number in its memory. So we'll go, let's say, number 50. And the program says, no, it's not 50. It's actually below 50. So we need to come up with a different number. So let's say what's below 50. Let's get do an educated guess. Let's do 25. Oh, there. In two tries.
You found it the second time.
Yeah, this is a bit anticlimactic. Let's run it again. Let's see.
Oh man.
Okay. Do you wanna guess it?
All right. Let's put 39.
39. Lower.
21.
21. Oh, lower.
Oh.
11.
11.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's the same number I said.
11. Oh, is it?
Oh, so it is not 11. You have to go higher.
Go ahead.
17.
All right, 17. Oh, it's between 11 and 17.
14.
Oh, not quite.
12.
12? Yeah, 12.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, there it goes. So that's the simplest game that you can build in 17 lines of Python, and this code basically can run on anything. It can run on a phone. It can run on one of those computers that I showed you at the beginning. It can run on a laptop, or it can run anywhere. And
did you guys manage to write any of the code as well?
I was just watching because I only have one screen.
I see. Fair enough.
When I tried to shrink it, it was a bit too small for me to see.
Yeah, I think we can put it in the chat as well, isn't it? Because I don't know whether you know how to download text from the chat. Probably to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I should have asked this at the beginning if the writing is too small. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much it for this program. I'm not sure if it made any sense for you, or if you found it interesting enough to spend more time learning Python.
Yeah. Can we play another one?
Another one. Not sure I can come up. Oh, another round.
Yeah. Another round.
Okay. Let's do that. Right. That you wanna guess first?
85.
85. No, it's below 85.
17.
Over 17.
42.
42. Okay, so it's higher than 17 and lower than 42.
31.
Okay.
26.
All right.
22. 18.
Oh my goodness.
19. It can only be 20 or 21. 20. 21.
That's it.
Oh man. I had to narrow it to, oh man, that was. Oh man.
Yeah.
So that means the person who takes the longest, man. Oh man. All right. Oh. That would have been me then. Anyway. No, that's okay. But yeah, guys, any questions? If you got any questions regarding anything you've heard that you did not understand, or anything that we said at the beginning as well.
I guess everything was understood, and there's no questions.
Okay. I don't know. I was wondering whether we can put this on JS Fiddle or something like that. No, is there a Python Fiddle version of JS Fiddle or something? And then we can share the link in the chat or something.
Good question. Oh, try. I'm gonna put this link in. Everyone, yeah. Try this one. See what happens when you bring it up in your window.
All right, yeah, it brought it up. Nice one. Nice one.
So yeah, that can be saved with the rest of the notes that we've got there.
This is nice. Cool. I'm wondering if you navigate away, will it disappear? It might disappear, isn't it?
Let's try it out.
So if I refresh it, just want to see if it's still. Oh no,
It's still there.
oh no, oh you closed it and you opened it again.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, okay. So that's two. Oh, that's okay then. That's okay. That's good. That means we should be able to share it. I don't know how long this I'd say the website keeps it for.
It might. I think it's going to stay there for a while, as that URL is quite random. Yeah, if anyone watches this at a later point in time and you want to learn more, or you've got questions, just reach out to us, either on the NECyouth post about the coding skills and life skills, or whatever it's called, and we'll keep an eye out in there, and we can guide you in the right direction, basically.
Okay. Oh, also, yeah, I think you can reach us on emails as well, or something on our emails as well if you want to. My email is wilson@smsjuice.com. So that's WILSON at smsjuice.com. So I don't know whether you want to display it on the page or something.
Put in the group chat.
Could just put it as a print in the
All right.
Python thing.
Cool. So I guess that wraps it up for tonight. Thank you everyone who managed to tune in, and we'll see you later.